Well howdy, and welcome back to Underlab. Today I'm going to answer the question I know has been on all of your minds. What would the characters in Undertale be if they existed in real life? Now truthfully, most of the monsters within the game are amalgamations. And I don't mean Undertale's kind of amalgamation. No, they're amalgamations in the sense that they're real animals combined together with an anthropomorphic twist. Interestingly, the more you look into it, the more you realise they really do resemble certain creatures. Okay, this video will probably be a little bit silly. It's also an opportunity to show off my phenomenal Photoshop skills. Now you may be wondering how I'm going to go about revealing the monster's true animal origins. Well, I believe Alphys has developed a little device to help us out. It's time to make an unceremonious return to the ruins. Flowey is, well, a sunflower. That wasn't too hard. Next up are froggits. One presumes that froggits are frogs. Or maybe toads. Does it really matter? Whimsuns are rather odd. My best guess is that they're some sort of fly, crossed with those not particularly realistic ghosts you see around Halloween, made with a white bedsheet. Migosps appear to be some sort of beetle standing upright with humanoid features. Vegetoids appear to be some sort of turnip, to me at least. Lastly, Luxes are all relatives of Mike Wazowski. I'm pretty sure that one is an objective fact. Napstablook, like Whimsuns, appears to be one of those comically bad ghosts. Except Napstablook really is a ghost, so maybe that's just what they look like. Finally, there's Toriel, who appears to be a bipedal white Nubian goat. With those floppy ears and protruding muzzles, there's no denying the resemblance. Moving out of the ruins and into Snowdin Forest, we meet the skeleton brothers Sans and Papyrus. There's no doubting that these two are skeletons, though of what sort? Well, the spooky scary variant of course, the type that just want to be your friend. Most of the stock monsters in Snowdin have no real world counterpart, but they appear to be mashups of other things. Snowdrake seems to be a giant angry chicken, crossed with a snowflake. Icecap appears to be a snowman with the coolest hat going. Gifttrot is clearly a reindeer of some description. Jerry is an unidentified flying object crossed with the most annoying person you can think of. As for the Royal Canine unit, well, they're obviously all dogs of some sort. Judging by their white coats and prominence within a cold snowy place, my guess is that they're huskies. I won't go into every monster within Snowdin Town, as then we would be here all day, though I will say that the shopkeeper is very clearly an anthropomorphic bunny. Next up we have the Denizens of Waterfall, and things start to get a little weirder. Monster Kid bears a resemblance to an armless Scraggy, a Pokemon. Though as for what Monster Kid could possibly be within the real world, it's difficult to say. Judging by the tail, I'd say likely some sort of yellow lizard. Shiren appears to be a smiling anglerfish, though her agent resembles nothing of this earth. Her name is a play on the word siren, and in terms of real-world mythology, her lower body certainly does resemble that of a siren's. Temmie is based off a doodle said to resemble real-life artist Temmie Chang, and I think we can all agree that it closest resembles a cat. As for Aaron, he seems to be some sort of merman, though in this case it's a horse crossed with the tail of a dolphin or some sort of other sea animal. Oh right, I forgot to mention Moldsmal. Well, Moldsmal seems to be some sort of jelly. Meanwhile, the cousin you meet in Waterfall, Moldbig, is some sort of colossal worm. As for Woshua, well, Woshua is Woshua. They appear to be a bathtub that's come to life. Gerson is undoubtedly a tortoise, and before I forget to mention him, the nice cream guy is a rabbit, quite like the Snowdin shopkeep, though he's blue. As for Captain Undine, well, she's a marine animal of some sort. She has traits of all sorts of creatures, such as piranhas, sharks, and even human hair. Please enjoy this extremely accurate image I created of what she might look like if fished up in real life. Moving on to Hotland, and we have Alphys. There's a large amount of debate about what Alphys resembles, with many calling her a dinosaur or a lizard. I believe she most closely resembles a pangolin, a type of mammal. She doesn't have their peculiar scales, but pangolins are known to awkwardly tuck in their claws like Alphys does, and even stand up on their hind legs. Now we just need a yellow pangolin to take up science and anime binging. Mettaton looks like one of those cliché cheesy robots from old sci-fi B-movies, at least in his default form. Mettaton EX is, well, something. Vulcan resembles a small volcano that's grown legs and started walking about. Pyrope is an oddity. Combining the words pyre and rope, it appears to be a flame elemental wrapped in ropes. Sunderplane appears to be a commercial airplane that's been given an injection of pure anime, perhaps one of Alphys' earliest and darkest experiments. Muffet is evidently a spider of some description. There's plenty of spiders with odd colourings out there, though I can't find any that are purple. Feel free to leave a comment if you know of any. The character no doubt takes inspiration from the real-life poem about Little Miss Muffet. The poem is about a girl and a spider, and her clothing even resembles those worn by illustrations of the character. As for So Sorry, well, maybe it's best you just watch my video dedicated to him. Of course, before leaving Hotland, we can't forget the 2 royal guards. These 2 are particularly hard to work out owing to their armour, though judging by the ears and fins protruding from their helmets, I'd say one appears to be a bunny while the other is likely some sort of fish, reptile, or even dragon. Unfortunately, it's pretty much impossible to make out exactly what they are under those thick layers of metal. Maybe we should undress them, and on second thoughts, moving on. Finally, we reach Mettaton Resort and the core. Burger Pants, like Temmie, appears to be some sort of russet brown cat, though he's anthropomorphized unlike Temmie. Within the core, Final Frogget and Whimsalot simply resemble advanced versions of Frogget and Whimsun respectively, so there's not much to say there. Magic appears to be a witch or wizard of some sort, and Night Knight is obviously inspired by knights of old. At the very end of the game, we have Asgore and Asriel. Naturally, like Toriel, they resemble Nubian goats. They're part of the same family after all. I suppose you're wondering what a Mega Flowey is most closely comparable to in real life. Well, let's just say a garden that hasn't seen a weed killer in a long time. Well, that's it for my attempt at finding out what Undertale characters would be if they existed in real life. I realise I dabbled a little into what might have inspired the characters this episode. That's something to go into more detail with another time. I also realise I likely missed a fair few characters. There's so many to keep up with after all. I'm pretty sure I covered all of the important ones, however. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.